Hello, my dear friends, lovely audience, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. When I say back, I'm talking about this is not the first time, this is the second, the third time already with my good friend Bob Lindsay, candidate for LASD sheriff. LA County as a county is beautiful, there's not a question. Question is that lately it's been kind of going down. We want to bring it back. For that, we need a new sheriff. That's why we have my friend, candidate for county sheriff, Bob Lindsay here. Sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jack. It's good to be back.
All right, good. And you know, as a show host, I'm hosting your show. Let you do the talking. As a man, as one of the Angelinos.
Yes.
I'm supporting you. See, this is proof.
Yeah, thank you.
Very good. For Bob Lindsay. All right, good. For most of our audiences who do not know you like much and like I do, little introduction about yourself, please.
Sure, absolutely. My name is Bob Lindsay. I had 32 and a half years with the Sheriff's Department. I was a deputy, then a sergeant, then a lieutenant, then a captain, and then a commander. And I retired from the department as a commander. I worked 25 assignments, gangs, patrol, the jails, surveillance, administration, personnel, human resources. I, from the inside of the department, ran recruitment, hiring, testing, exams, payroll. It goes on and on.
Everything.
Yeah, it goes
everything. All right, good. In other words, within the 32 and a half years in the county, you almost did everything, all kinds of job positions.
Yes.
That made you knowing the system from head to toe.
Right. I know.
Left, right.
The LA County Sheriff's Department, I know from the inside. I know the heart of the department. I know a lot of people on the department. You know, when you grow up in a department and you spend 32 years of your life there,
yeah, you're right.
It's like your family.
Exactly.
So you learn the structure, you learn everything about it, and you know exactly how it operates.
I do understand what you're talking about. Here in my organization, I have a friend named William. He's been a reporter ever since, forever. My term is forever, all right? And of course, he knows people. The word knowing people is a general term. But knowing people to that extent really calls for years. Any given time, you say, William, can you get me the brother of who and who, for example?
Right.
A brother of Chiang Kai-shek's third son, please. He goes with the number right away.
Yes.
Something like that, like an encyclopedia. And then my slogan for him, I'm not advertising him. I say, hey, if you can't find anybody, go ask for William before you ask a cop.
Right. Right.
Yeah, William knows everything. That exactly tells you, working in the same organization for that long, like in your case, 32 and a half years, knowing people is probably one of the top of the essences that you have.
Oh, it's very important. Knowing the organization, knowing the people in the organization, knowing how it operates, knowing how it functions, and also knowing what it needs to do for the community.
Good. That's rather important. Speaking of what to do in the community, though, I don't know what's going on. So we, as the people being protected, we do not know what's going on, but there, right? What we do notice is that we see more crimes, right? We see officers being killed, such as the Whittier officer.
Yes,
right?
Tragic situation.
All right?
Yes.
We don't see that, right? And we see lots of strange things going on. We want to understand, we want to find out why. You have the answer?
Well, I have solutions.
You don't have an answer, you have
for
solutions.
a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
For example, voting is so critical, and let me tell you why. If you get something in the mail that says you're voting for a safer neighborhood, and you don't read it, and you don't know what's in it, then you really don't know what you're voting for. Do you know that when they put voting for a safer neighborhood on the last ballot, or back when they did that, that what you were voting for was to let criminals out of jail? That's not a safer neighborhood.
Exactly.
But people believed that they were voting for a safer neighborhood. These are the things that the sheriff, these are the things that people need to be battling, to go out there and say, wait a minute, everybody, you're not voting for a safer neighborhood if you vote for this. That is not the truth. You need to vote no, because we don't want to release criminals. Right now, criminals are going from state prison, and they're releasing them to the county jails. And then in the county jail, if you don't know this, if you're sentenced to 1 year in jail because you did something really bad, you only do 2 weeks. So
what a discount.
It's a great discount for the criminal, but that's what's happening under this sheriff. It used to be 30%, now it's down to you only do 10% of your time.
All right, okay. That's totally unbearable, because exactly that's one of the tough questions I was going to ask you. For the past years, when we see those crimes increase, when we see those neighbors, we see those cholo guys running on the street with a beer bottle in hand, you really worry about where your tax money went, right?
You do, yes.
Especially when we heard about a winter officer being killed by a guy in and out of jail for 5 times within 2 months or somewhere period of time. They flash incarcerated him and got him out right away. Something is wrong, I believe.
Well, he was a flash.
Something is wrong.
Exactly. He was a flash release. Never should have been out of jail. That police officer should be home with his family.
Yes.
They shouldn't be burying him because this individual did not do any time for the crimes he committed.
All right. Okay. And when we see enough of that, we were pushed to a verge that we want to break up. We want to say, we need a better LA. We want our LA back to our hands, right? We want the choose safer community back to us. Speaking of the campaign slogan, though, I do recommend that I do remind my audiences there are games being played.
Yes.
There are games being played. Okay, I give you an example. Let me see how, my audience is, for you who do not know exactly what kind of game is being played, the words, especially the keywords, can be played a lot, right? Because, for example, let's see, for example, what is a year ago about the CB 205 bill or 502 bill, talking about equal opportunity, right? When you're talking about equal opportunity, they want to apply it to college or to college enrollment. Say, we do just exactly to the accordances of racial proportion. For example, in your area, you have 12% of black. You do 12%, and for that area, you have 30%. You do 30%. And the fact is that a school has to be a place taking only the best. Forget it, regardless of racial issues, right?
Exactly.
You want the best.
Look, at the Chinese community is known for the way that their children are parented, for the family.
Yes.
Studying, schooling,
academics
scores is paramount.
Yes, yes.
And you should be rewarded
yes.
for hard work.
And also, to the benefit of the nation, though, you need as many elite as possible. You don't have to look at those mathematics about your proportions, about percentages. No, that don't work. But thing is that when they do this, they did not do, say the core issue. They say, hey, equality. Everybody deserves an equal chance. All right. Politically, they are right. But behind it, they're kind of, it is a trick. It is a game. Right?
Well, when you put the wrong people who aren't as smart, who aren't as astute, who didn't do the work into positions in law enforcement, they can get people hurt. They don't know what they're doing.
No, not only hurt, you're talking about dying.
Well, of course.
Dying.
Of course.
Right? People die. And then not a regular Joe, regular Sue, you're talking about armed police officer being killed.
Exactly, and that's where we are.
Almost a joke.
Well, that's where we are right now in the sheriff's department under this sheriff. Promotions are not based on performance.
You're right. You're right. You're looking at the policy, the quote-unquote sheriff politics, right?
Yes.
The sheriff politics is that a sheriff officer being killed by the guys, the authorities who are running the system, and the system let go those criminals on the street, such as that guy. Typically, if nobody says in jail, he deserves to be in jail, right? And then he is on the street in the morning, killed his own brother, cousin brother, and in the afternoon killed an officer. How much more of this should we as taxpayers keep on going bearing?
Well, we shouldn't take it, and what we need to do is place me in there so that we can work together to end this.
That's why
this is crazy.
That's why I get involved. Normally, I don't. I'm a media man. I stand in the middle. That's why I call myself a media man. Right now, when I see this much happening, I get pushed. I get pushed. Okay. My dear audience, whatever I say stands for myself, but I believe that all support was right? Because now,
we do.
Let's take a very short moment now. When we come back, we'll continue talking to our hope of LASD. Let's see what Bob can do once he takes office. All right?
Thank you, Jack.
Do take it, please.
Thank you.
Stay with us. Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to the discussion about Bob. Bob Lindsay, Mr. Robert Lindsay, has been a LA County Sheriff Officer for 32 and a half years, during which period, which is a lifetime.
It is.
Right? Somebody even dies before he reaches 32.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. And that's a lifetime service. And he retired as a commander, one of the 12.
Yeah, there's about 16, I believe.
Oh, yeah? One of the 16 highest ranking officers under sheriff.
Under the sheriff, yes.
Under the sheriff, right? So, and now he comes back because he, like me, myself, have seen enough and decides not to keep silent, decides not to take anymore, decides walk out to do the job. And he believes he has solutions for the many problems that we have.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
With me today is my good friend Bob. Bob is really a down-to-earth, the grass-rooted kind of servants that we taxpayers like. I heard him giving lectures for several times. As a matter of fact, I did not feel, and I do not even feel today, those speeches he gave were lectures that were kind of like a talk, heart to heart, neighbor to neighbor, man to man, that kind of talk, talking about your safety and security, right? So, talking about solution, in his speeches, he mentioned that he has solutions, keys to the problems, for the ones like, say, early release. Mm-hmm. And you were saying that they, instead of paying the full price, which is time they need to serve, they need to be incarcerated, they were doing 30%, Now they were down to a point they do only 10%.
That's
so
right.
To that problem, what's your solution, please?
Look, we need to keep jails open. We need to staff the sheriff's department appropriately. Right now, the sheriff's department is probably down 1,500 deputies. So what does that mean? That means that all the deputies that are working are having to work overtime. They're working extra time, being ordered to work extra time. Now, how would you feel if somebody came in here and said, you're not doing one show, you're doing 10 shows today?
Okay, all right, yeah.
You know, you'd say, wait, I'm going to be tired. Nobody
I used to do
yeah.
3. By the time I reached 3, I felt I was walking on cotton.
Yeah. Well, nobody wants to be pulled over by a police officer who doesn't want to be there because they've been told they have to be.
You're right, you're right.
So what we need to do is we need to hire more police officers, but this current sheriff just isn't doing it. You know, there's plenty of people in the Chinese community and other communities that would love to be deputy sheriffs. We need to be out there. We need to be out in the community getting those sons, those daughters,
Why
those
wouldn't
husbands,
he
those
hire
wives.
more? Is it because of budget?
No, he has the budget.
He has the budget.
He has the money to pay somebody to be a deputy sheriff. He just has not engaged or operationally put together the people to hire.
I see. The money is there, and he wouldn't hire more.
No, if you listen to the sheriff, the current sheriff, he will say he doesn't have enough resources.
I see.
That's his problem, not the community's problem. He is the one failing to hire.
Let's try to understand him better. When he say resources, what the term might apply, being money is one of the resources, manpower or available recruiters are the resources?
Well, he controls most of that. He's got a $3 billion budget. Now
Oh,
think
3
about that.
billion with a B.
With a B.
Oh, that's
That's
a big
how
money.
big the sheriff's department budget is. But when you take the people in the department and put them in the wrong places, or don't use them correctly, or don't hire enough people, the whole system begins to cave in.
You're right, you're right, you're right.
And that's what's occurring.
Proper allocation, right?
Very important.
To find the best in everyone, right? To use him or her the right way it's supposed to be, something like that. And okay, here's the logic. Okay, if you push somebody to work overtime, you have to pay 1.5.
That is correct.
Right? You using the half money, at least you can hire a half officer. Am I right?
Well, that's correct. But he already has the money sitting here. The money is sitting here.
All right.
Today, he could hire Jack.
Yeah. So,
But he's just not doing
so
it.
it's not an issue. It's not an issue because the 1.5 money, the extra money, by pushing them to work overtime, though, which made them long face, which gave them temper. Well, so all kind of things, bad things could happen for working overtime. Using that money, you can hire extra people, all right?
Well, he doesn't even need to use that money. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I see.
He doesn't have to use that money because he's got this big pot of money here waiting for him to go out into the Chinese community or other communities and hire the best people to put on a badge and to become deputy sheriff.
Why is there a motivation? Why wouldn't him do it?
He's not organized. He's just not prepared. He does not understand the department. He does not understand hiring and recruitment.
I see.
He doesn't understand the sheriff's department.
Considering of the fact that even LA City has almost 10,000 police officers, 15,000 for a county with 88 cities altogether, is quite a scarce number.
Well, I hate to say this, but LAPD is hiring the people they need. And they're beating us. They're beating the sheriff's department because they're getting to the best people and the best officers much quicker than the sheriff's department because the sheriff's department has a lack of planning, a lack of consistency, a lack of people recruiting, and I could go on, but that's the truth.
I see. So get to the point. When you talk about solution, your solution number one is to effectively use the money available to hire more officers, good ones, of course, right, to help with the situation.
Absolutely.
Am I right?
This is crazy, but let me tell you what he spent some of his money on. $1 million, okay? He spent $1 million on changing belt buckles.
Belt
Buckles from silver to gold.
Oh, why?
And
why?
changing out stickers on the car because it said tradition of service, and he didn't like the way the of looked. So here's $1 million going to silly things, when in fact that $1 million could have gone to hiring people. It could have gone to training officers. It could have gone to deputies that could be out in the schools or community programs.
Yes, all right. And well, if a sticker has something wrong, I dare not say anything about it. To change a buckle, belt buckle, what is the significance? There must be some significance.
Well, the significance is he wants everybody to look good.
Look gold?
And he felt they looked better in gold than in silver. He did the same thing with their uniform shirts. Rather than thinking it through, he didn't like the way that the badge hung on the uniform, so he gave them heavier shirts so that the badge would hang straighter. Now, has anybody worn a jacket out in the summertime?
Yeah,
That's in
right.
essence what he did to the officers. He made heavier shirts. Now, you put on a heavy shirt and you put on a bulletproof vest, and you have all the deputies out there cooking in the summer.
All for the purpose of wearing a badge straight.
Yes.
And to be cooking in the summertime.
Exactly.
Right. So those are kind of like basic logic brains. I thought he might have some more point that makes a bigger significance to the community safety. So, to your understanding, wearing a silver buckle, belt buckle, in between the silver and the gold, it does nothing to the community safety, does it?
It was a waste of taxpayer money. Complete waste.
Of course. If we as community members, we are very, very understanding people. If somebody could explain to us, come to us, could explain to us that a gold buckle will protect you better, of course we'll vote for it. Yeah, we'll say, okay, we agree. A platinum, will platinum work? Okay, go platinum if we're safer, right? If the answer is no, so we want to cry. Why? Well, so I don't know what to say. I don't know what to comment. If what you're saying is true.
Well, it is true.
Provided.
It's absolutely true. And I will tell you, it's the same as telling somebody if they walk out of their house in a suit and tie, they're less likely to be attacked. I don't think so.
Well, in Los Angeles, especially in the weather, in summertime, wearing a suit and tie is really a torture, right?
Yes,
Unless it's necessary, right? And if you're talking about business elite downtown business offices, that's a different story. If you walk on street, for example, if you go on Monterey Park, on Garvey, go along Valley, or Main Street, or vertically San Gabriel, Roseville, whatever, and I'll just bet how many of the suit and tie people you will see. Right. What I am more interested in the fact that we invite somebody from the sheriff's office come to here to explain why a gold buckle protect us better. If the answer is yes, I see that, I as a media man will call for it. My folks, they buy me. They buy me. They trust me because I earn the credit. Right? I earn the credit. They trust me. Oh, Jack says a gold will protect better. I would say on their behalf, but if not, I will cry. That's the problem.
Yes.
That's the problem. My dear friend, with my friend Bob Lindsay, candidate for county sheriff of LA, we are really touching base. When I say touching base, we're talking about the bottom issue. The bottom issue is that, for example, if you make, like, say, 100,000 a year, right? I make, say, 80,000 a year. I can live better for the same size of family, same size of the house, whatever, same size of the family member. You know why? I have a better wife who manages money better.
Yes.
Could that be the answer?
Oh, absolutely.
That
Managing the household money is very important.
I can live better than 100.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
with Bob, we're touching base with the bottom line issues about our county sheriff department, and he's running for the county sheriff. Let's take a break. When we come back, we have many, many bottom line issues to touch base with. So we'll see you right back. Hello, my dear friends, my fellow Angelinos or Angelinas. Welcome back to the show. Jack Chow is having very good time with my good friend Bob Lindsay, candidate for LA County Sheriff. We as Angelinos do care about our own county. If we have anything else important to care about, the first could be our LA County. Mm-hmm. It's our own backyard. It's our own life and safety in it. So, especially when we see, starting that many past few years, when we see bad things happening here and there, and later on we're surrounded by the bad things, we really worry, where did our money, tax money, went? Mm-hmm. So, Bob, the first one, he raised the question. He dares, with 32 and a half years of experiences in the system, being an officer all the way to one of the 16 commanders, he decided he wanted to run. He believed he had a solution that can do a better job. That's why we want him to win. We wish you good luck.
Thank you, Joe.
The thing is, for good luck, you really have to have good solutions, right? When talking about good solutions, making money, allocating money, the allocation is rather important.
Yes, it is.
If you focus on the sticker, or tell me something about what's wrong with the sticker.
Well, first of all, there's different ways, and business people know this. Mm-hmm. If you have something wrong with something, mm-hmm. and you're going to change out that item anyway, mm-hmm. then you wait till you change out the item and you fix it. Take, for instance, the patrol cars. A patrol car only has a certain life. We all have cars. Mm-hmm. After a period of time, you sell them. You get rid of them.
All right.
With patrol cars, they're out on the street every single day, sometimes running for 24 hours straight. Mm-hmm. So the mileage goes high on them right away. So when you have a sticker and there's a minor flaw in the word of, which wasn't a flaw to me or to anybody else, we would never even see it, then what you do is you wait till that car goes away. When the new car comes in, you put the new sticker on it, because you have to do that anyway.
I see, all right.
So you don't waste money putting a new sticker on an old car and spending taxpayer money, and then when the new car comes in, you have to put another sticker on it.
Oh, I see. You're saying Bob Lindsay, probably by mistake, somebody mistake, Bob, Lindsay, something like that.
Right.
All right? And then the car running sometime 24 hours straight would get exhausted, whatever, within a year or two, something.
A couple of years, sure.
A couple of years, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that is a mistake, of course. We confirm that's a mistake, but it's not devastating, right?
No, nobody saw it. Nobody noticed it. It was a capital versus a small letter.
Yeah.
That
capital
was it.
and small.
That was it.
And then instead of waiting for time to take care of that, Somebody replaced the whole thing with.
They just began replacing the whole thing, dipping into the taxpayers' money, taking money that could have been used for really important things. For
How
the
many
kids.
how many stickers in the cars we're talking about?
Oh, I can't even tell you how many cars are out there, but it was worth probably, we're talking $500,000.
$500,000 gone like that.
Yeah, when you start talking about what was spent on it, the labor involved in it, the time involved in it, and everything else.
I see. For a should be capital letter, a small mistake, of course, we're supposed to be perfect, right? Well, really, if it costs about $500,000 to replace it, is really a money that we would hate to spend.
Well, Jack, I would just ask you and the community, did anybody notice the mistake in the last 10 years?
No.
It's been that way.
You remember when you started the whole conversation, you confirmed yourself as an insider. Because you know the inside out of things, right? So we will never know about how they deal with a sticker.
No.
Right? We will never know about how they will deal with a belt buckle, from silver to gold,
No.
or probably to platinum. Who knows, right? And maybe sometime you need a diamond on it. Look even shinier. Am I right?
Right.
Yeah, why don't we do a diamond on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
For solitaire.
Yeah.
For whatever, something like that. Okay.
Well, we'd look really good in diamonds.
Those, of course, and rubies probably.
Sure.
So that's why we need somebody like Bob who knows the inside, who knows every corner of the room, right?
Yes.
Every corner to the room, every hinge to the door, to find out what can we do, how we want to improve LA, right? So now, we're talking about solutions. Solution again and again refers to if this guy has the experiences, right?
Right.
In the system, among the 16, anybody who served longer than you?
No. That's running for sheriff?
Yeah.
Well,
yes.
yeah, the sheriff worked at LAPD. That's where he came from, LAPD in Long Beach. So he's trying to make the sheriff's department LAPD.
All right.
And I personally, we like the sheriff's department. So, and then the other candidate that's running, we have about the same time on, but he's a lieutenant. He's not a commander.
Yeah, I know. But if somebody comes here, for example, somebody from CNN, right? Come here, want my job, he will never get it.
No.
Even though
Nobody can replace you.
CNN is a bigger studio.
Yes.
Not because he served in CNN for so many years equal to mine. What I'm talking about, this is the specific studio that Jack Zhang knows.
Exactly.
No matter how many years you come along all the way from CNN to here, you are a stranger. Right. I'm talking about, I'm the man knows every corner of the room. That's it. Because I work here long enough. I'm not smart. I'm a clumsy guy. I'm stupid. Okay, but I've been here long enough. For 32 and a half years, you know every corner of the room. You know every hinge of the door. You know every screw to the hinge. So that is the benefit, right? Okay, second benefit is that you know the solution, right? Once again, let's come back to solution, right?
Sure.
To enhance the security, enhance the community security, public safety, you're talking about, number one, extra number of officers must be added to the 15,000 existing.
Right.
Right. And okay, suppose that's satisfied. Suppose you're in office, you did on your call get 2,000-3,000 officers added, make it 18. We used to have 18, make it 18 on the team. Now, what would be your next resolution to handle swap around with the early jail release problems?
Well, there's a lot of things that can happen. Once you fill the department up with the right people, right number of people, and you situate them in the right places, then the next thing you have to do is you have to motivate your employees. Right now, morale on the sheriff's department, they did a survey. The morale on the sheriff's department is the lowest it has ever been.
Oh.
The deputies do not appreciate the way they're being treated. Not by the community. They love the community. They're upset about the way they're being treated by the sheriff.
Domestically.
Yeah, they don't appreciate when he nitpicks, when he looks at them and tries to find anything wrong with them and disciplines them for almost anything. And then he's firing more deputies than any other sheriff in the history of the department. So what the deputies do is they look at that and they say, I'm better off not doing anything, because if I don't do anything,
I see.
I can't get in trouble. So that's why you see more crime, but less arrests. How are there less arrests when you have more criminals out there and you have more crime? That doesn't make sense, does it? So the deputies are in the position right now where they have completely stated in their minds, it's not worth it to go get in a fight or go try and arrest somebody, because when I do that, I might get in trouble from my own department.
That is a very dangerous situation. Very dangerous situation. To be a sheriff of a county department, you really have to be a commander of an army. You really want to call for or command for what's right? In other words, you really have to pay attention to your morals.
Yes.
The morality issue is really an issue. You win, when you win, you probably win because your morale. When you lose, probably you want to lose the morale. So for a positive morale, you want to encourage people to go look for trouble, to look to resolve trouble, to get into it, to head up to trouble. Right? You don't want to just back off, to make sure. We used to say something is better than nothing. In this case, you encourage nothing is better than something.
When the community calls for a police officer, they want a police officer to get there. Not tomorrow. They want them now.
Yeah.
And when they get there, they want that police officer to do the best job they can to fix the problem. If an officer shows up and he's afraid to take action and fix the problem, that's a problem. What we need to do is we need to support these deputies, because they have the toughest job in the world. Doctors have a tough job. You have a tough job. Think about it. You have to come up with knowing exactly what the community wants. You have to ask all the right questions. You have a tough job.
Yes.
But we need to respect everybody's job and their profession and what they have to do. And what the sheriff needs to do is respect his deputies, empower them to do their jobs, and allow them and show that he has the confidence that they can do it.
And encourage their motivation.
Very important.
Right?
Very important.
Nobody gets fired for during the 8 hours on duty, he hasn't arrested anybody. But if there is somebody needs to be arrested, the guy is still sitting there because he has no fear that you are not going to arrest me if I do not go ahead doing my job. And then people will be encouraged to go in the opposite way.
Right.
Not a proactive way, right?
That's
so
right.
You got to create a culture that educate the proactive portion of the job to push up.
Sure, Jack, we don't have time to talk about it, but there's policies that need to be changed, there's procedures that need to be changed, there's all sorts of inside things that the community really doesn't need to know about. But if I can take the rules and make them easier for the deputies to help the community, I am sure the community would love that.
The problem, we just hit the core issue.
Yes.
The core issue being that you have to know how to make your people, your boys and girls work the way you want it. Right?
That's right, and the way they want to.
Oh yeah.
They want to work.
All right. My dear friends, today I have one of the very rare opportunity to chat with somebody before he takes office. I know for sure he will.
Thank you, Jack.
That's why I decided to get in, to get some credit for it. You don't have to thank me for it, okay? I'm just doing.
No. I
I'm
thank
just
you.
doing what I want to do. I feel what is right to change because we do need to change. With my friend Bob Lindsay, candidate for County Sheriff of LA, we believe that we got to some kind of core valued issue about the community, about the service, about taxpayers' money, about how to run LASD. So
Yes, sir.
let's take a very short moment now. When we come back, we want to put everything together to see how exactly and why exactly we need a hand there to do the job. Right? Stay with us. We'll be right back. Hello, my lovely friends, my dear audiences. Welcome back to the show, especially when you happen to be like me, myself, one of the Angelinos or Angelinas. You'd better, you'd better pay attention to what's being talked about because we're talking about your county.
That's right.
Your community.
Our county.
Our county,
Our
right?
county, that's
so it is our own backyard we're talking about, right? So we're not talking about bombing Syria, which is not our job. We're talking about our own community. So with me today is my good friend, Bob Lindsay. I'm wearing this shirt because I decided as a man, I'm applying my expression, freedom of expression. I want to support him, right? Because I like his principle. I like his set of mind. And of course, I like his experiences built over the 32 and a half years serving from the bottom all the way up to one of the 16 commanders of this whole system. So welcome back to the show, sir.
Thank you, Jay.
All right,
Thank
good. I know, and people always say the details, the devil is in the detail.
It is.
Yeah. You and I, while sharing the details, we probably have points made. A detail as much as to a belt buckle. A detail as much as a capital versus small letter on a sticker, right? A detail as small as a badge to be wearing straight, for which purpose you have to have a heavier jacket, something like that. We really see where you're heading. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You really see where you're heading. For example, me doing the show, I can put tuxedos on my. By the way, I have lots of tuxedos. Mm-hmm. I even have a set in white. I have a set even in pink.
Ah.
Yeah. Right, for some entertainment
Sure.
MC job, right? Mm-hmm. Yet I have to do a better job to deserve that kind of outfit, right? If I sit here with a set of handsome tuxedo and I can't even form up a question, so that, well, you're not talking about a show host, you're talking about a puppy, something like that. We want to see within the details we find the devil, right? So you just mentioned about the recruitment. You mentioned about the principal rules and regulations or terms, whatever, to encourage officers to be proactive rather than lazy.
Right.
All right? So can you give us, I know there are lots of things you don't want to expose, even you're out of the story, you will get in anyway.
Yeah.
Give us something releasable so that we understand what a difference it could make if only a policy changes a bit.
Well, let me talk about use of force for a minute.
Okay.
Because force happens all the time. Mm. Now, what is force? If you push somebody or if you do something like that, that's force. Let me give you a situation. A deputy came, he was protecting a smaller inmate from a larger inmate. Mm-hmm. He moved the smaller inmate back so the inmate would not get hit by the bigger inmate. Mm-hmm. They count that as a use of force, him saving that smaller inmate. Now, that's crazy. That is crazy. They have to write reports. They have to, just simply because he moved the inmate, it's a use of force, even though he was protecting him.
In other words, there are two inmates, one big and one small, kind of in a fight, right?
Getting ready to fight.
Getting ready to fight, and this officer kind of pushed or forcibly pushed the smaller ones.
No, he didn't forcibly push. He moved him, just got in front of him and protected him.
No force applied. Move the smaller one away from the fight.
Yes.
So that was interpreted as a force?
By policy in the sheriff's department, that is considered force.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
The common sense.
It's all it is, common sense. Why is that?
Common sense, yeah.
This sheriff is not changing that. That needs to be changed. And here's why. Because if that officer goes to court and he has arrested somebody, then they go and they say, we want to look at his record. And his record says he has 50 uses of force.
I see.
Well, if
that is one of the force.
Of course, if he helped 50 people, he has 50 uses of force. And they say, look at all the force he uses. That is not fair to any deputy or any employee.
Why? That's crazy. That's so crazy, the common sense, right? I didn't go to police academy. I know nothing about the whole thing, but I know logic. Logic. Even the rocket science is built upon logic, right?
Right.
Now, when by logic, I don't see any force in this whole scenario. Why it is a force?
Because that's the way this sheriff has the policy written. And let me tell you, it's worse than that. Not only is that a use of force, then the deputy has to write a report, the sergeant has to write a report, the lieutenant has to look at it. Now talk about all these dollars. You're taking all these people and making them do all this paperwork, and they're not watching the inmates, they're not watching their jobs, they're sitting down writing a silly, lack of common sense piece of paper.
Oh, there's a public nuisance.
It is. It's crazy.
I call it public nuisance. Because you're wasting money, wasting energy, wasting everything only to a wrong designation for something which was, matter of fact, good.
Right.
On the contrary, it was good.
It was very good. It was very good. There have been situations where people have tried to save people jumping. They're trying to commit suicide.
Okay.
And they try and save them, and that's considered a use of force.
So what is the option? Let them jump?
Well, the option is if you don't want to be written up for using force, you would let them jump.
Let him jump, right?
Right. Now, police officers aren't going to do that. We know that because they're there to save people. But the fact is,
I'm talking about the culture. The culture.
The system is broken.
The culture is risky. The culture is risky. If people merge in that kind of culture, sooner or later they will learn. We don't care. You want to jump, you jump. Here's the window.
Well, now you know why when I was saying earlier, people don't want to engage. They don't want to chase anybody. They don't want to go after anybody.
Because of getting himself or herself in trouble.
In trouble. In trouble. Paperwork. In trouble. Disciplined.
That's the kind of trouble. That's kind of trouble.
That's right.
All right. When you first mentioned trouble, I thought about the life-threatening situation, that kind of trouble, and I never thought about domestic discipline troubles.
No, this is where they send you home, they take away your paycheck, they don't pay you, you lose your house, you know, you can't pay your bills.
Oh, the consequences are endless.
Oh,
the consequences
it goes
are
on
endless,
and on.
right? Any more details? I believe that is a very, very devastating, and those details speak loud, very loud.
Yes,
and about how exactly, I believe things are getting rotten.
Well, they are rotten. I mean, this sheriff has even changed the discipline policy. It used to be if you did a minor infraction, you're wrong. So you know you're going to take a little punishment. Now he has made those minor infractions, he can terminate you for them. So now you can be fired. So that is why nobody wants to even do anything wrong. It's not, I mean, it's not, none of us go to work saying, today I'm going to violate a policy, or today I'm going to do something
by mistake
wrong,
or something.
or today I'm going to get in a shooting. That doesn't happen. But when you get there, things happen, just like they do here, just like they do in the operating room.
Give me an example. Give me an example. What an officer encountered or commit something as a minor mistake could be considered a bad deal or whatever for which he gets fired. Any situation you can.
Well, let's take a situation like this. Let's say a deputy is watching a drug deal go down. He sees it in his rearview mirror. And then once he gets done seeing it in his rearview mirror, he writes the report. Now, for all of you ladies out there, when you look in the mirror, it's the opposite behind you.
Yeah.
So if you write the report and you place them on this corner, when in fact they're on this corner,
I see.
now somebody calls you a liar. Well, you're not lying.
I see.
You're not. You just transpose the corners.
I see.
But now you're called a liar, and if you're called a liar and you're a police officer, you're fired.
You're fired.
You're fired. You see how
without asking what kind of lie it was.
It doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter what's in the heart. It doesn't matter that you're not really lying. You actually. That's what you saw. It was on this corner.
I see.
When in fact, if you had turned around, not looking in the mirror, it was on this corner.
I see. All right. Those are very, very serious, small things made serious. And the serious thing is that, okay, now, if somebody for that gets fired, though, to my take is that you wasted all the monies spent the previous years in recruiting him or her.
Wow, you know this business very well.
Right.
So you waste the money in recruitment, backgrounds.
Yeah.
You waste the money that they spent 6 months in the academy. You waste the money that they got jail training.
Everything.
You waste the money in patrol training.
Oh my God.
You waste, of course, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars that you waste for every person that leaves.
It's the butterfly thing.
Absolutely.
Okay, now if my boss fires me, right, he's wasting his 16 years or 17 years of efforts plus money.
Yes.
Because I learned that much. Of course, if I conducted or did something very big, of course, right, there's no other options. If I did a minor mistake, give him a warning, let him know he did wrong. Yet, when it comes down to a mirror thing, it doesn't make any sense to me. Anybody with an IQ above 30 would understand what
you know
it
what,
was.
Jack? A good friend of mine told me the other day. He said, "This is crazy what's going on in the department. It's out of control." And he said, and this is a business owner. He owns multiple restaurants. He says, "My policy is polish, don't punish. Polish. You take somebody, and if they make a mistake, you do the best you can to make them the best they can be."
All right, polish it. Okay, good. That's protection. I do that to my people under me. I do that. I severely criticize them in front of them. When I was confronting them, I tell them how wrong exactly. When I face my people up, my level up, I polish.
Yes.
I do polish all the time, which is a good philosophy.
It's very important.
All right, so punish. As a matter of fact, you're punishing yourself. Okay, by you punishing yourself, you are punishing the taxpayers because it's not your money; it's taxpayers' money. It's your money, my money, his money, her money, everybody's money.
Well, not only that, then your response time slow down. Police officers don't show up till later. They're too busy to be there.
That's why we say they're lazy instead of being proactive.
Right.
Because laziness get awarded, and the proactive guy writing a report with the wrong directions, with a mirror directions, gets punished and gets hired.
Jack, I can tell you police officers in the sheriff's department right now who have been told, don't make that many arrests. We're moving you because you're making too many arrests.
Oh. And then that's why we see a troubled community. Right? That's why we see those guys on the street.
Indeed.
Right?
That's right.
And yeah, about 3-4 nights ago, about 3 o'clock, 2:30 and 3, I heard some kind of beat noises out of my window, and it was cross street and in a house. There were 8 guys and girls all together sitting by the curb, right? And the 4 black and whites were there doing whatever they want to do. I heard them say, "Go home, no more party." It was not a weekend, right? It was not a daytime. It was early in the morning, like 2:30 to 3 something. Obviously, when boys and girls got together at that hour, you could close your eyes just to assume what they do.
Right.
And the cop, instead of doing anything, dismissed them. "Go home, no more party." And all the 4 went.
Yeah. Well, I always tell my children, nothing good happens after 10 p.m. Come home.
I do. After p.m., well, anyway. Okay, now, my dear audience, we're over time, but with my good friend Bob Lindsay, I really love to talk. I believe that the devil is in the details. The more detail will touch base. Oh, by the way, we need to come back for details.
Yes.
Because the details speak really loud. I started understanding, this is why Bob's running.
Yes.
Right? So, because it can't go on like that.
No.
Right? So,
can't.
all right. My dear audience, thank you very much for watching. And to Bob, thank you very much for coming here. And especially, I thank you for running.
It's my privilege.
Because I don't want my tax money goes to their bill buck.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it. And
Sure.
thank you to the watchers.